Hey everyone, I'm John.
And I'm Ethan.
And we're here to give you some spoiler talk of 2017's Spider-Man Homecoming.
With a few Easter eggs in there as well.
So guys, don't watch this video if you care about spoilers or you haven't seen it or anything. If you've seen the movie or you don't care about spoilers, then welcome to this spoiler-filled video.
This is the place to be.
So we both loved this movie.
Absolutely. You can check out our review in the description down below.
I think the biggest pro of it was the writing, and there's a lot of stuff in that I really would like to talk about that would have to be spoilers, so we have to have a separate video to talk about it. And I think one of the big things is the twist in this movie is great, which is that the girl Peter Parker has a crush on and takes to Homecoming is the main villain's daughter.
Dude!
Which completely catches you off guard. It's not necessarily the most creative or interesting or complex twist, but I don't think anyone's really going to see it coming. You know what I mean?
Right, because that was followed by, I forget the guy's name, help me out.
Michael Keaton?
Yeah, Michael Keaton. It was followed by Michael Keaton's incredible performance and setup as the Vulture. And he's such a great villain for the beginning of this movie, and then they throw the twist on you, and the stakes raise even more so when you find out that the love interest is the daughter.
And that made him so much more intimidating, I feel
Absolutely.
Because so many heroes in superhero movies, especially Marvel movies, because Marvel has a big villain problem, as we know, are very almost impersonal.
Right.
Maybe that's the wrong word. I feel like a lot of Marvel villains and superhero villains in general are just kind of guys that are want to destroy the world and they're evil villains and that's all there is to them.
Right.
But this guy felt much more personal because he then had a personal relationship to Spider-Man.
Absolutely, yeah.
And you understood stuff about his business, and then there's the connection to his family and why he's doing it and his motivations. And it made the whole thing much more intense and impactful for me.
The reveal there just improved the connection, and it brought the movie, I think, to a whole nother level. I
completely agree.
Honestly.
And there's actually the scene where he lets her out of the car and as they're going to Homecoming and he talks to Peter Parker.
It's great. It's great because I'm going to give Peter the dad talk.
The whole car scene is so intense.
And he's just I'll kill you and your whole family if you mess with my business.
And in the car as they're driving there and he's starting to realize that Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
That scene is so intense because you can feel
it's one of those scenes that has you doing this, you feel the tension.
The music I think is a little bit out of place, but I think for a good reason, because as they're pulling up to the homecoming, the music is swelling and you can hear these big drums, and it's obviously out of place with this high school, but you know how intense it is in that car, and it's so amazing. I love that scene. The whole twist is great.
I wouldn't have picked a better person to play Vulture than Michael Keaton.
No.
He really killed it.
Fantastic. Another one of the, what were you saying?
I was just going to sing his praises more, but go ahead.
Yeah, another one of the villains that actually didn't get a lot of play, but hopefully we could see in the future, is Mac Gargan, played by Michael Mondo, also known as the Scorpion. So Michael Mondo being an incredible actor, from Vaz and Far Cry 3 to in Better Call Saul now. I'm really excited to see what he can do, especially with a character like the Scorpion.
By the way, I really liked at the after credit scene, the middle one, where they meet in prison and Vulture decides not to give away Spider-Man's identity because he saves his life at the end. I think that really adds to his character and adds to their relationship in a way that's going to make me way more interested to see the next Spider-Man movie.
Right.
Because it adds a very push-pull, I don't want to compare this to something else that's inappropriate, but almost Batman Joker type of thing. Right, where there's not nearly on that level, but you get what I mean.
There's a level of mutual respect.
There's mutual respect, but they hate each other, and they're going to want to kill each other, but they've also done things for each other.
Right.
So it's much more interesting, I think, than... I think Vulture could be the best MCU villain at this point. One of the best, definitely.
Kevin Feige, I believe, said that in this Homecoming sequel, we weren't going to see anyone that we'd already seen before. So I'm a little doubtful that we'll see the Vulture again, but hopefully we'll see the Scorpion and Michael Mondo return for the sequel, and mostly because of what they teased in that prison scene, with Michael Mondo saying, I have a few boys on the outside looking to cut Spider-Man's head off.
I really would like to see Vulture again, though.
Yeah, of course.
If we don't, I'll feel like they wasted a really good thing they had going.
Right. I mean, you could say that for any of the villains that they've killed so far. But I don't know.
I don't think so. I mean, I just think that this has more potential than a lot of other villains, is what I'm saying.
So the Scorpion could possibly be bringing the Sinister Six together, if that's what he's hinting at with him and his boys when he gets out of prison.
Do you want that? Is that what you want to see?
It's something that's been teased for a while, going back to Amazing Spider-Man 2, ever since we had the Man in Black, and he was bringing those people together, and we had the little after-credit sequence. It's one of the most famous teams amongst the the Marvel villains, the Sinister Six.
Yeah.
Of course, they'd have to use characters like Doc Ock or Kraven the Hunter or Mysterio, who are some of my favorite villains in just all of Marvel history. And if they can pull it off, and if they can bring those characters in, which I'm sure there might be some rights issues with Mysterio or Kraven, because they might still be at Sony. I'm not so sure on that. I would love to see them in the sequel, and hopefully we can see them.
That would be cool. I'm worried that... Do you think it could become a little bloated, do you think?
Possibly.
Just trying to include even more characters in the next one, or no?
Think about it, 6 villains. That could be tough.
And that's a whole thing you have to then set up with how they come together and everything.
Possibly.
But then again, I do feel like this movie did a great job of setting up Spider-Man, because it doesn't give you the whole Uncle Ben dying thing, and like it doesn't give you his origin story as much.
No, there are a few hints.
Really?
There are a few little things about Uncle Ben, actually. There's just a quick little line about, Peter's talking to Ned, and he just says, oh, you know what Uncle May's been through.
Yeah.
In these past few weeks. Or few times.
It kind of catches you up on his origin very concisely in a way that I think was really, really good, and it leaves a lot of room to do more later, because this was focused on telling its own story and not with giving us the same stuff we've heard already.
Another thing I really want to talk about is the suit that was teased towards the end of the movie when Tony is bringing him into the new Avengers home base, and he's basically saying, all right, you can stay here now. And he shows him the new suit, which I believe to be the Iron Spider suit.
It looks kind of weird to me. It looks like, That's what I thought when I saw it.
I was a little thrown off by it, because it looks a little different from the Iron Spider suit, if that's what they're going for. But if they are going for the Iron Spider suit, and they bring out those awesome retractable arms, or I don't know if they're retractable or not, but those big spider arms that he has in the back, I think that would be really cool to bring in the sequel, or maybe even to use in Infinity War. That would be awesome.
Speaking of which, with that scene, I was surprised we got Pepper Potts in this.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, she's in this one.
Yeah, after
she popped up.
After Gwyneth Paltrow saying like she would never return in a Marvel movie again, she showed up, and Tony Stark and Pepper Potts are engaged now.
I would like to see her have a bigger role in coming movies, because I think she was a great character, especially in the original Iron Man movies.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they didn't use her in some movies where Tony was. I don't remember her. She wasn't in Civil War at all.
I hope that's hinting at more to come.
Maybe so.
Now, one thing I want to talk about is surprised me, Donald Glover is in this movie.
Yes, Donald Glover.
I wasn't expecting that. Apparently, it was announced before, and I just missed it. But that was a great, big surprise for me, because I'm a huge fan of his, from his music to his stand-up to Atlanta, which if you haven't watched Atlanta, highly recommend it. Great show. And to tell everyone about him.
Well, yeah, it was announced that a few days ago when the cast list came out, is that he'd be playing Aaron Davis, or otherwise known as the Prowler, who's another sort of vigilante character in New York. And that's great. There's the great scene where he's trying to buy weapons from both of the Shockers. We'll talk about the Shockers later, actually. He's trying to buy weapons from the Shockers, and he just wants gear to climb. That's pretty cool, because he's a climber guy. He also mentions that he has a nephew to take care of when he's talking to Peter, when he has his hand went to the car. The nephew, of course, being Miles Morales, another Spider-Man. So that's really cool. Hopefully we can get Miles in the MCU. I know he has an animated movie coming out.
So we're definitely going to see Prowler at some point, right? I mean, why would he be in this if we weren't going to see him, right?
True. I mean, you never know what they're building up to. We'll see what they got on that.
I would be very excited for that.
There was such a crazy scene when the Vulture completely obliterates the Shocker.
Oh yeah,
played by Logan Marshall Green. He completely disintegrates him.
It was unexpected.
Yeah, that's just one of the reasons why the Vulture was just such a great villain, because he really did some out of nowhere stuff, especially that.
He had a very you can tell he's just a heartless criminal type of thing.
Even though he's a heartless criminal, still got a family, still got kids.
You get that motivation of almost in a mafia type of way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a guy in New York City doing illegal stuff.
Right.
Ruthless, but at the end of the day just wants to provide for his family.
Right.
Which I thought was great. Alright guys, that was some of what we wanted to talk about relating to spoilers and Easter eggs in this movie. We really loved it and thought there was a lot to it, and we recommend that you see it if you haven't seen it. If you haven't seen it, you probably shouldn't have watched this video, but it's still a good movie.
I'm going to watch it again, just for more spoilers.
Oh, for sure.
More Easter eggs.
Alright guys, Stub Masters Reviews, I'm John.
And I'm Ethan.
Have a great day.